What's up, guys? You're here with the Tellmen. We got another good one for you. We got a pretty funny story for you guys that happened the other day. But we're pretty much gonna go over price, and then put the most of the focus on Johnny's article, Reimagining Remittance the Telcoin Way, and give our perspective on what the Telcoin team is putting out there. So let's jump right into it. So to start off, we're looking at price today. We're sitting at 78th of a cent. Pretty much moving up and down. It looks like we're settling in between 9/10 of a cent and about 1/7 of a cent. It looks like the floor is 1/7 of a cent. When it drops down here, you have the whales come in. A lot of buy orders sitting down here, I'm betting. So it looks like, we're starting to form a little flag here. Based off the last chart, this took about 3 weeks to pop off. Not saying that it can't happen sooner, but that's what happened at the 0.003 range.
And honestly, like with 360 Trader, he did like a chart on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
On the last bull run. And it could be a month, it could be 7 days, it could be 15 days.
Yeah.
There's no tried and true method, but generally somewhere between that range.
Yeah, if we're just going off what happened last time, boom, probably a week or two before it blows up again.
Yeah.
It's a little different because Bitcoin hasn't risen 30% or 60% yet into that 80K range. But that's what we're looking at right here. So funny story for y'all. You might have seen us tweet this out last night as sort of like a joke, or the other night, like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, literally when we made our last video, we're like, it's super late. We're going to go to McDonald's.
Yeah. So we went and got McDonald's, and we got this like McChicken. And guys, it gave me the worst food poisoning I think I've ever had in my life.
Listen, James, I didn't hear from him for a day. I thought he was dead. So I called him twice. I texted him, even Facebook messaged him. Yeah. And then he like contacts me on a whim. And it's like, dude, I thought I had like a serious disease last night.
I had the shivers so unbelievably bad that I couldn't open my door. And I was like weird. I was nervous because I couldn't like text anybody because my hand was shaking so bad, and I couldn't get out of my room. It was it was crazy experience. But
the best part is we're hoping to get like what, $1,000 from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And like gift cards.
Bunch of free McChickens.
I'm gonna use them now.
Dude, I'm gonna get their breakfast. They're hotcakes. That's what I'm gonna do.
You like those things?
Anyways. But we just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody following us and people giving us shout outs on, like, for example, Crypto Juggler. Just giving us shout out, giving us retweets. We know David is out there giving us a lot of retweets. Balloon to the Moon. We appreciate it. Really excited about where Tell is going and you to keep following us. So we're gonna just jump into this article. We think it's pretty important. Again, I think this is a sign that their marketing is starting when you have staff members writing blogs.
And they came out with a video too today. So
yeah, I don't know if it was that then. I don't think it was them. I think it was one of their followers, but their whole team pretty much retweeted it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're thinking about making a video too. So let us know in the comments if you want us to make a video. We can do that too. So we just wanted to jump right into this article and go over the details with you and like walk through it in a video. I know some people just don't want to read it, so hopefully this helps. But yeah, so let's just start. He's writing this article. I think it always helps with reading comprehension. I was trained to think this way when I was taking the SAT and ACT, is that what it was called? ACT. Yeah. To like, who are they writing to? What's the purpose and what's the goal? And he jumps into this right here. The article's goal is geared towards who are new to the world of international money transfer and will help provide an overview of remittance, traditional methods of both sending and receiving, as well as at Telcoin revolutionary approach to providing a remittance service and how it aims to change the face of this market. for the future. Now, this is what we are so excited about, summed up in one amazing sentence. Shout out to Johnny. But there's a lot of explaining to do if you're new to Telcoin of why that's such a big deal.
And I think you did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like, you laid out what the current structure is, kind of the deficiencies there, and where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. And so he starts off by naming some of the statistics we talked about in our last video. But according to a report by the United Nations, 3.5% of the world's population, over 272 million people, work and reside outside of their home in the country. So what remittance is it's pretty much you're sending money from one country to another country. And the people that are using a lot of remittance are immigrants who are living in another nation who need to send money back to their home. So he outlines that here. And according to a report by the World Bank, more than 550 billion was sent around the world by migrant workers in 2019. It's easy just to read a number sometimes. 550 billion.
That's a massive. If Telcoin can capture 10% of that number, which I think could potentially be a very conservative metric.
I think that's super conservative
for sure.
One of the things he points out in here is that the global bank's goal is to get 3%, and Telcoin's 3% in 10 years, 2030. And
no, they were saying that they're hoping to drop the percentage fee to 3% by 2030, which is what, like a million ages from now. But
10 years, and Telcoin's already at 2.5%. So something to keep in mind. So again, more fun numbers. This is the US 79 billion remittance are being sent in 2019. And so again, we talked about why the importance of India and that relationship they have with, what's the name of that company?
Teleja or something?
Yeah, Teleja. Yeah. That Indian company that's a little bit bigger than Gcash. Again, expanding in the market with the relationships that they already have. And so we talk about this solving a real problem. Like, this isn't just a coin where it's, I think of Theta, where it's just like really cool. It's like really cool videos, streaming, like the new YouTube. And it is solving like the problem of like free videos everywhere on the internet. But at the same time, like, this is solving like an actual problem that is slowing down people's lives or causing like problems.
Here's some things he brought up in the article, right? So the current rate for sending these remittances are 7%.
Yep.
That's a big number. Takes 2 to 5 business days to transfer over. That's a long time, and sometimes longer. The different mediums you have to do it through, so it's really cumbersome.
Yep.
Wire transfer, check, So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Like, they're providing a legitimate service here in solving a major problem.
Yep. And so pretty much what's happening like today is remittance is a cumbersome and costly process. So in order to send money, an individual will need to use a service or remittance provider. And this could range from a bank remittance agency such as like Western Union or MoneyGram. And now increasingly digital service providers like PayPal or Wise. So you're gonna have to, like, what somebody has to do is they have to go sign up for a bank account. They have to go through all the process. They have to go to the bank. But imagine not having to get on the internet and only being able to only have to get on your phone, which most of them have, and send money like to somebody who's on another continent. Like, that's crazy.
All you need is an app.
Yeah, all you need is an app on your phone. So this is what you're looking at typically. So the sender pays the remittance, sending an agent using cash, check, money order, credit card, debit card, or debit instructions sent by email, phone, or through the internet. The sending agency instructs its agent, the recipient country, to deliver the remittance. The paying agent makes the payment to the beneficiary. So you're pretty much wiping this out.
Yeah, I didn't really think about this, but later in the article, he talks about how people who have to send money via remittance back to their home country or whatever has to pay an agent.
Yeah.
And as a result, they have to walk around with a wad of cash in their pocket, and they're like targets for theft.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird thing. I wouldn't think that was a problem, but
yeah. Yeah,
Apparently
because
it is.
you don't want to get mugged.
And you have to like go to the bank, take that money out, or you have to go to a machine, and it's just
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind of
taking a risk
process.
every single time
Yeah.
you're going to send remittance. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So he points out that banks are still the most expensive way to send money. As John was pointing this out, that 7% is about the cost to send plus paying the agent. So they're not convenient and cost friendly. And so Johnny does a really good job of just highlighting this. 31% of all those worldwide, 1.7 billion people still lack any sort of basic financial services just because of infrastructure, because of like where they're located, the nations that they're in. So again, this is solving a really serious problem for them, especially during COVID.
Yeah. And along the lines of that, it actually sparks the economies where they come from.
Yeah.
Because they're not as strong, they're emerging markets. So like somebody works in America, sends money back.
Yeah.
It sparks their economy, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, and like what's kind of crazy is the numbers on this. Like, let's just like 5 billion people have mobile phones, and 5 times the number of people who have access to traditional banks. So you're opening a door to an entire new market of people.
That is crazy.
Massive number of people that nobody else can touch.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Like only right now, Telcoin is the only one positioned to touch them.
Yeah. And maybe they have some competitors, but they don't have the partnerships like Telcoin does.
Yeah. So very interesting. And that's a reflection of all these partnerships, that because their goal again is to send remittance, and then they're getting users through these relationships. Okay. So let's jump down to, here's their approach to provide secure, affordable, and convenient remittance services that keep the maximum amount of money in the hands of the recipient while offering a robust ecosystem and extensive financial networks and allow users to spend money on things that are important to them. So that's a really powerful, I believe that's a really powerful mission statement. Working in, business, a company lives or dies on its mission statement. And if you can get people behind something, it sometimes can be difficult. But in this case, there's a vision there, there's a mission there, and stuff to be excited for with a very strong end goal. They're not just shooting from the hip, and that's going to direct them in making decisions. And that's one of the reasons why I think they're so focused on being compliant first. But yeah, so then he talks about, this talks about how simple it is to send money through Telcoin, like literally log onto the app, put your ID in, and then send money. It's really that simple.
You don't have to go through 10 different steps.
Yeah. It's literally kind of like Amazon. Like, do you remember when you had to go to the mall and try to find something you're looking for?
Yeah, and during the Christmas or Black Friday, I do not want to do that.
What's crazy is Amazon, I'll go and I'll create a list of stuff that I want. My siblings will do the same thing, and my parents, and we literally just go on to the person's list and order.
It's that simple.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because exactly what somebody wants. And I think Telcoin has sort of the same thing where it's just it just makes sense.
It's a seamless process.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
It's almost like that market niche is begging for disruption.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Western Union hasn't, and maybe they have, but this is cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've dived into it yet. And that's the advantage of being first. Just look at Bitcoin.
Definitely.
So again, we mentioned this earlier, they're targeting a total cost of 2.5 or less, including the fee, where the World Bank aims down to 3% by 2030. So they're trying to do that this year.
A decade earlier.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a million light years away.
Which is just crazy. So this is the last benefit he points out. And this is what John was mentioning earlier, is they don't have to walk around with hard cash anymore. And again, this is just more proof to me that the world is moving more and more towards digital, when you got every country, even third world countries, starting to move towards this type of thing. and you can see it. It hasn't happened yet, but the vision is there. It's unfolding before our eyes, and it's very exciting.
And honestly, it's more mainstream there than it is here.
For sure.
I think we're maybe a little bit more behind the 8 ball, or just adoption is potentially going to be slower.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just kind of crazy. It's like, well, I was reading somebody's like, I missed out on the .com bubble. I'm not missing out on this.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's what we'd call the fourth industrial revolution.
Right.
So yeah, and then so he highlights that, and I thought that was really cool, like something that like we never think about, but being a risk and a problem for some of these people in these countries. But yeah, he concludes the best way possible. Send money smarter. So yeah, we just wanted to highlight that video and or not the video, the article, and point out some things that we noticed that we liked and that we're excited about, and hopefully give you a deeper understanding of TEL and what Telcoin is, the company, and what they're aiming to do. As always, give us a follow on Twitter at the Telman. We appreciate the love. Subscribe to these videos. We're trying to come up with as many as we can whenever we have time. Obviously, I got really sick the other day, but yeah. So we will catch you guys in the next video.